Good morning, everyone. Today, here we'll be starting a new lesson, and that's staff training. So, I believe you all are aware of the word training. Must have done before, yeah? You must have taken training in various things. Yes, so that is what staff training is all about. Now, today we'll be discussing in this slide about staff training, meaning and definition of training, distinction between training, education, and development. Okay. In the next, after that, we'll be doing importance of training, types of training, preparation of the training program, methods and techniques of training, hindrances to training. All these this is the outline of the chapter which we will be following in this lesson. I hope I had made myself clear. Am I clear? So today's topic is very clear that we are going to do today training. The training part is very important because we are going to do staff training today. Understood? So when we talk about staff training, you see the word staff training. So what do I mean when I say staff training? You know what? Training is the process of increasing the job knowledge and skill of employees. That means we are increasing the job knowledge. We are not only increasing the job knowledge, but also we are increasing the skill of employees. These two things have to be taken care actually. So we can say from the word, it's very simple. The meaning is very simple as I gave you. It's a process of increasing the job knowledge and skill of employees. Actually, it is very organized, systematic, because if it is not organized and systematic, then it will go haywire. So it's a two-way process because there must be someone to learn and someone to teach. So let's see the screen. Meaning and definition of training. So one definition can be done from here. So this definition, according to Michael Jusius, training is any process by which the aptitude, skills and abilities of employees to perform specific jobs are increased. That means your aptitude, your skill, your abilities to perform jobs increases. On the other hand, education is the process of increasing just the general knowledge and the understanding. But training is also making you increase your ability, your skill, your aptitude. All this increases with the help of training. Understood? So what are the main objectives of training given to you? To prepare employees for the right job by imparting the required knowledge and skill. If I am going to teach my employees what to do, when to do, how to do, then the employees is going to do it properly, right? So that is how we prepare the employees for the right job so that they can do the job properly after getting the required knowledge and skill. Point number 2, to enable employees to work more efficiently on their present job by exposing them to the latest concept and techniques, because you are teaching them how they can learn latest concept and techniques. That means we are going to expose them to learn new concept, latest concept and technique. Point number 3, last point, to build a second line of competent officer by preparing them to occupy higher position. Like suppose you have trained an employee. After your training, after you train your employee, you see the first point we have done. Now the second point we have completed. Now this is the third point. After your training, you see you build a second line of competent officer, because not only that, you are building a line of competent officers. Competent officers you have prepared. After training, a person becomes a trained person, a competent person, right? So he becomes a competent person, a competent officer. So all these 3 points, the first one, objective number 1, objective number 2 and objective number 3, all these 3 objectives have to be learned by you, plus as I told you, the meaning of training, the definition of training. These two things have to be learned separately from here. Now moving on to the next point, or the next slide rather, distinction between training, education and development. That means you are having a distinction between these three things: training and education. Education involves improving the general knowledge and developing an overall understanding of the environment. For example, a mechanic who repairs a car better than an engineer is only trained. He's not educated, he's trained as to how. He's not educated, he's been trained as to how to do his work. Therefore, the scope of education is wider than that of training. Understood? We'll be having it in a form of a difference chart. You will be studying it after this. Education involves formal instruction in a school or college, whereas training can be given only on the job itself. Right? So training and development, training should also be improving the knowledge and the skill for doing a specific thing. Right? As you can see in the chart. Now moving on to the next chart, as you see, we have another chart that shows you the distinction between what? Training, education and development. The chart you can see, that is very simple chart. The first point is the basis of distinction. Under that we have nature. So you can see, very simple but very easy to understand. Under nature you can see training is practical in nature, education is theoretical in nature, development is both practical and theoretical in nature. Training, content of the job training is job related, content of education is general, content of development is career oriented. Participants, they are the non-managers. Educations are for both managers as well as for non-managers, and development is only for the managers. Point number 4, duration. Short duration. Training is given for shorter duration. Education is for longer, and development is a continuous process, keeps on going. Point of distinction, it's cost paid by the employer, and in case of education, cost is paid by the government and the individual. And in case of development, what is happening? Cost is paid both by the employer, by the government, by the individual. All are paying the cost. Have I made myself clear? Did you understood? So this is what I am telling you to do. You just have to know that this much is to be done, and this is how things have to be done. So here in this you can see through these slides we have learned three things today. Meaning of training, as I told you, I have also explained you, please note that down. Meaning of training we have done, then we have done the definition of training given to you in the slide. After that we have done the objectives of the training, and we have done in the second slide, yes. Then we have done the distinction between the training, education, there has to be in comma, distinction between training, education and development. What is the distinction between these three we have done? And then you can see when the last slide which we have done in this is points of distinction, that is the basis of distinction has been given, and we have discussed how training, education and development differs. That means with the help of basis of distinction we can see how training, education and development differs. Okay. Now before we stop for today, I must tell you, I believe till now whatever assignments have been given, it's completed. Don't leave anything for the last moment. Complete all the question answers. Everything has to be done beforehand. Okay, don't leave anything for the last moment. All the registers and notebooks should be maintained beforehand. We are giving you regularly the questions, so kindly do them. Answers are also there with you. Now, the main thing which I want to discuss is after completion of each lesson, I am giving you some informative files, some informative videos which have been taught and explained by other psychologists and other teachers. So kindly see them and learn from them as well. because I'm not getting views for them. They are also important. You can see how other teachers are also explaining, how it is explained in other schools, other places. So it is an additional benefit. It's like it's like reading two books of the similar nature, right? Reference books. Why we go for a reference book? So that we get extra knowledge, right? Whatever information we want, we can recollect. Okay, am I clear now? So in this slide also, after completing this slide, I've given you the question answers of this. So kindly do the assignment as well. Don't leave it. After each and every teaching, I give the assignment sheet. So kindly do all the assignments, whatever has been given to you. Don't leave it anything for the last moment. Okay, in the next class, we'll be doing about importance of training and other topics as well. We'll be doing the types of training, benefits of training. There are lots of things to discuss, which I'll be discussing in the next class. Have I made myself clear? Okay. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome back here. Today's topic, you can see on the slide, importance of training. So today we'll be doing the importance of training. Let's see the first point. That means why training is important. That is what the importance of training is all about. Why training is important. The first point, higher productivity. You know what? The trained people will give you higher productivity. Whatever the job performance will be by them will be, because since they are trained, so their job performance will be better in comparison to the rest. Right? There will always be a difference between a well-trained employee and an untrained employee. There will be always difference between a well-trained employee and an untrained employee. So point number 1 is important, higher productivity. Training helps to improve the job performance of the employee. Well-trained employees are more efficient, and as a result, the quantity and the quality of performance also increases. Point number 2, reduce supervision. What do you understand by the word reduce supervision? You know what? When an employee is trained properly, you don't need to supervise him, because well-trained employees are self-reliant. You don't need to check them again and again. You don't need to explain them things again and again, because they are self-reliant. They can do things on their own. They do not require continuous and intensive supervision. Nobody needs to supervise them. They already know what to do, when to do, how to do. Right? So ultimately the supervisor's time, energy is saved because employee is smart. Point number 3, and trained as well. Point number 3, better safety. Employees who lack knowledge, because you know what, human errors or negligence is a major cause of accidents in the industries. Now, if you are doing errors and if you are not careful, then the accidents will be there. So employees who lack knowledge and skill regarding their job often commit mistake, and as a result, what happened? Training makes employees proficient and safety conscious. Training is going to make you overall proficient, safety conscious, and when you become safety conscious, you start reducing errors and mistakes and accidents, right? Your errors, your mistakes, your accidents reduces. Next point, number 4, it's economical. How economy trained employees make better and economical use of the material and machinery, because they know how to, they are already trained now, so they can use it without wastage, without any problem, any disturbances, so they can easily go for it. Proper handling of facilities reduces wastage, spoilage and breakage. So these 3 things can be checked by them. They will avoid wastage, spoilage and breakage because they are already trained. Point number 5, higher morale. Effective training improves the job attitudes. Obviously, when you are happy from inside, your morale will be higher. Your self-confidence, your job attitude, all is actually boosting you, and ultimately your morale gets higher. You are satisfied from it. Trained employees can work better because they feel happy from inside. They can work better and they can thereby earn rewards, right? Motivation and morale is boosted for the trained employee. Higher morale helps to reduce absenteeism and labor turnover. What happens when an employee's morale is high? How does the company get the benefit out of it? Because once the employee's morale is high, then he'll reduce the absenteeism and labor turnover. He'll not be absent. He'll be doing more and more work. He won't be running here, leaving the job, thinking, or trying to hop and go to another job. He won't think of that. Point number 6, promotion and career growth. Training enables employees to acquire knowledge and skill for more responsible job. You know what? You are trained. Now you can handle this position properly. Now we can think of giving you promotion. Your career can increase. We can give you something more. You get trained. You take the training and then you do that. So you, when a trained employee can earn promotion more quickly than an untrained one. Thus, training facilitates career growth of an employee. Point number 7, stability and growth. Stability and growth. Through training, an organization can develop its future executive. You know what? Your future executive can be developed. Benefits. With the help of well-trained staff, an organization can smoothly expand. You know what? When my employees are well-trained, when my people are working together, when my people are doing things together, things are going on smoothly, everything is going on in a proper way, then what happened? When there is a stability, when there will be a stability, then there will be a growth. Then my employees are going to grow. Understood? Take out the pen, everyone, and take this down. Some benefits of training to employees. What are the benefits of training to employees? That means how the employees gets the benefit after training. That means what the training has done to the employees. Point number 1, it had boosted their self-confidence. So we can say self-confidence is first point. Under that you can write down training has boosted the self-confidence of employees. And write down training has boosted the self-confidence of employees. It enabled him to approach and perform his job with enthusiasm. You know what? Because his confidence is increased, so he will be doing his work with full enthusiasm. Point number 2, you write down higher earning. You know what? Trained employees' salary or earning is higher in comparison to one who are untrained. It happens in every sector wherever you go. If your person is without a training, he will not get more salary or more pay. But once then a trained employee always gets a higher pay. Point number 3, safety. Training helps an employee to use various safety devices properly because he is already trained. So he will be using all the safety devices properly. There won't be any chances of mishap or accidents. Am I clear? Point number 4. Adaptability. That means adaptable. Means adjusting with the surrounding. Training enables an employee to adjust with the surrounding, with the changes in the work procedures and method. Because if whatever new methods and work procedures are implemented, if I train my employees accordingly, he will adjust with it. He will learn that. Point number 5, promotion. Through training, employees can develop himself and earn quick promotions. You know what? A trained employee. So what happened? When an employee is trained, he'll get promotion. Because since he is a trained employee, so obviously he'll get the promotions. Point number 6, you write down new skills. Training develops new knowledge and skill among employees. You know what? New knowledge and skill is developed among employees. The new skills are a valuable asset of an employee and remain permanently with him. You know what? As I told you the other day as well, today also I'm telling you, what's the difference between trained employee and an untrained employee? Can someone tell me? Very simple. He is more skilled, he is less skilled, he has more knowledge, the other one has less knowledge. All these things are basic factors. But what are the important factors? A trained employee and an untrained employee. A trained employee always gets promotion and a trained employee always has self-confidence. He knows how to handle the safety devices. He knows how to handle the machines properly. He is not prone to accidents. Right? He is careful to do things. He knows how to work. He knows how to adjust with the surrounding. So that is how a trained employee is been taught. They are trained in that way. So a trained employee is always an asset to an organization, because since an employee is trained, so he'll always act as an asset. Am I clear? So this is how training is useful to employees in the organization, because without training, an organization cannot think of growing. And a good organization, an organization which has complete growth, always think of giving training to its employees, because without training, an employee is not able to perform up to the desired level. So even training is very crucial part for every employees. They need to be trained properly. In the absence of training, an employee cannot perform well. So in this slide, we have learned two things today. We have learned the importance of training, and we have learned the benefits of training in employees. So for importance of training, we have learned few points. The first one we have learned was higher productivity, how an employee is going to produce higher since he is trained. Point number 2, we have learned supervision cost is reduced. Point number 3, we have learned better safety measures is possible because an employee is trained. Point number 4, economical. Point number 5, higher morale is higher in comparison to the other employees here. Point number 5, we have done that, higher morale. Point number 6, promotion and career growth is there. Then point number 7, we have done stability and growth. And for this benefits, as I told you, I hope you all have written. Point number 1, I said self-confidence. Point number 2, higher earnings. Point number 3, safety. Point number 4, adaptability. Point number 5, promotion. Point number 6, new skills. As you can see, importance of training and benefits of training is just a replica of one another. So some points can be utilized from here in writing that. And one more thing, out of these 7 points, I think 5 can be learned from here for the council examination. Thank you. And one more thing, do all the question answers attached with this along with this file in the assignment file. Kindly do the question answers. Thank you.